Today, of course, marks another historic and significant day in the history of the college. And over the last few weeks, particularly, we've had occasion to have these kinds of historic events. And much of it is the result of the culmination of a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication, a lot of commitment on the part of the individual I'm going to introduce next, who's been here 8.5, starting 9, okay. Beginning his 9th year as the president of the Richard Stockton College of New Jersey. Many, okay, of the initiatives that you've seen come to fruition began long before today, of course. And it took a lot of hard work. It took a lot of maneuvering through tremendous bureaucracy, getting master plans approved, meeting with the appropriate legislators to get public-private partnerships approved, maintaining contact with institutions of great stature, which we're going to be celebrating today. It's the work all because of the hard work and dedication of our president, Dr. Herman Stockton.
Thank you, Harvey. It's wonderful seeing this group of students here, right? I mean, this is a good indication of the worth of Seaview, what we're doing, classes being held here, and eventually, we promise the classrooms, the official ones, will be completed. Stephen Prakish told me it was within minutes. I think it's probably days, but they'll be finished certainly sometime early in October, which will really, I think, work quite well. Today is really another one of those remarkable days. I can remember some time ago when Andy Dolce and I first talked about the possibility of building a Cornell agreement and of how we might coordinate that. And some of you who were here when we sort of celebrated the purchase of Seaview and celebrated becoming a part of Stockton College may remember that I was asked by reporters, what's our competition? And I said, well, there are really two. One was Cornell with its really superb hotel school, and the other was the University of Central Florida. But I also noted that neither one had a 4-star resort with 2 golf courses and 297 rooms and 30,000 square feet of space, so I thought we would be very competitive from the very beginning. Actually, what happens is, of course, we're not really competitive, but we are now being collaborators, and we're working together to build hospitality, tourism, and gaming programs and educating students to participate in those programs. This is clearly a win-win situation. It's a win-win situation for our students at Stockton because they also have a priority on enrollment in graduate programs at Cornell. It's a win-win situation for Cornell because their students get to come, participate here in their internship programs, and also have access to classes and classrooms and our faculty here as well. Michael Johnson and I have been talking about other opportunities that might include faculty exchanges, joint research projects, and things of that nature as well, which will greatly enhance what we are now doing. This is a remarkable agreement, and it changes the nature of what we can do here in this area and in the tourism district in Atlantic City. And so it's with great pleasure that I introduce Michael Johnson, who is Dean of the School of Hotel Administration, also holds a distinguished professorship at Cornell, and I look forward to many, many years of collaborative work together. Michael.
Thank you, Herman. It's a tremendous pleasure to be here. I mean, we have a saying on campus, especially in the School of Hotel Administration, that it is all about the students. We've been trying ever since I'm in my 6th year now as the dean of the School of Cornell, And one of the goals we set out very early on was to continue to build a great faculty, do everything we can to expand the students' experiences, and of course find ways to pay for it all at the end of it. So it's pretty simple when you think about it. When it comes down to it, without taking any political stance whatsoever, the life is a village. You look at all these programs around the country, and we all do great things, and we all do somewhat different things. I think, at Cornell, the way our education has evolved over time is our alums have for years said you have to be able to do both the hospitality business and the business of hospitality. And if you look at our curriculum, it's a very business of hospitality focused curriculum. We just do hotels and restaurants as a training ground, as a place to ground our education while focusing on the strategy and HR and marketing and real estate components of the business. But as a result, our students don't have the kind of opportunities that students at Stockton College have in things like club management, in things like gaming, given the proximity, given the beautiful facility here and the proximity to Atlantic City. So this truly is a win-win, I think, for both the school and the college. For our students to be able to come here and get access to all the professionals who work in this area, and the faculty who work with those professionals and the research that can be done here, whereas the Stockton students can come to Cornell and get access to a world-class faculty in things like real estate finance, which is a very important part of our industry. As someone who sort of did some consulting in hospitality and teaching services marketing in a previous career at the University of Michigan, coming in and looking at this industry, it boils down to a couple of very simple things. Operational excellence, which you have to do very, very well, and the real estate finance component, who's going to own and asset manage the property. So if you look at it that way, this is a wonderful opportunity for our students to gain through the expertise here, through the opportunities here, given this property and given its location to Atlantic City, which is absolutely tremendous. And we look forward to, we have capacity, especially in the spring terms, what we euphemistically in Ithaca call the spring terms. Starts the end of January in Ithaca. But it is for someone who grew up in the state of Wisconsin, it's actually as beautiful that time of year. And a lot of hockey to be played. We're really looking forward to this. The start, I think that the best place for us to start is to get the students going back and forth. I mean, that's the key. If we can start with some students coming up during our school year and some of our students coming down and take advantage of this opportunity, then we let it grow from there. You start with 5 or 6 students, those 5 or 6 become a dozen, those dozen become 20 to 30 students. And when the students go, one thing I found is where the student interests go, often the faculty will follow. Right? So when the student interests go there, we think of areas that we study, and I'm sure are in the hearts and minds of a lot of these students here, whether it's entrepreneurship or sustainability. Those are things that we don't necessarily naturally think about our curriculum, but our students drive us there. They want it. They make sure we have it in our curriculums. So it's the student interest that's going to drive a lot of this. So it's a great pleasure to be here this morning. I think this happens because of the support of not just a few people, but a lot of people in the community that support the college on this end and support the school on our end. So we're looking forward to a very long and very fruitful relationship. Thank you very much.
Many people played significant roles in our arriving at this agreement. I've mentioned Andy Dolce, who really sort of launched us in this direction. Provost Kesselman clearly moving forward in a terrific way. Lloyd Levinson playing a role as well. But where the rubber hits the road is at the dean's level, and where the deans have to really begin to determine what programs, what courses, what opportunities there are for students. They have to come and ask for financing and try and figure out how to do all this and how to advance programs. And Dean Jenny Wagner of our School of Business has played a significant role in building this relationship. So it's my pleasure to introduce Jenny. Dean.
Thank you very much, President Sutkamp, and all the honored guests. When I found out I was going to be making these remarks, I was thinking, well, I better get out my Bartlett's book of quotations and see if I can find a quote. But it just came to me that the quote that plainly fits this entire education is that great oaks from little acorns grow. And it is such a good metaphor. We just last week had the big celebration from the acorn of an idea that 40 years ago was a few construction buildings in the woods that has become the Stockton that we have today. Lloyd, I was thinking about the 5, 6 people around a conference table 2 years ago, which has become the Levinson Institute for Gaming, Hospitality, and Tourism, already connecting the community and creating new knowledge to help further it and move it along because of your support. The HTMS program, what are we going to say? When I came here 4 years ago, it wasn't even a program. It was just a track in business. And now you've got 8 regular faculty members, 180 students, and that's today. Wait till tomorrow, it's going to go up. That acorn is plainly growing into a very fine oak. And I certainly want to say that this agreement is an acorn. The paper and the signing, it is a little acorn, but oh, what could grow out of that? And I want to make sure I say to Cornell that when, oh, I'm sorry, I missed. And of course, the metaphor that speaks to all of us as educators is that we are all engaged with helping acorns grow into oaks. And so I think it speaks to all of us. And on this agreement, I certainly want to say that we look forward to receiving your acorns and that we will provide them with a good place to grow and allow them to see this, this amazing area. Only Atlantic City do you have the history of the grand seaside resorts. And right here, well, if it wasn't so foggy, I could see the glittering new casinos and that whole industry that represents. And only in Atlantic City are you going to get that mix. So we look forward to helping your acorns. We really appreciate the idea that when we have grown our acorns through our programs, that you will help them with paths so that they can get to your garden, grove, and continue their quest for I know, I may have pushed this about as far as it can go. But may exactly the acorn of this agreement grow to be a great oak of collaboration, and we look forward to participating and supporting that process.
We are now going to sign the agreement. Those of you who can't see, one of the nice things about the agreement are the seals of the 2 institutions at the top. And they're like, I tried to get Stockton a little higher, the way Texans do, but it didn't work. But it's nice, and I'm sorry Michael is going back to Cornell. I don't know how many feet of snow they have there now, but hopefully not much. But we're going to do the agreement. I'll ask Harvey and Jenny if you'll join us. But we decided that Stockton, not being a land-grant institution, that we'd actually plant the tree first. And then we've got some shovels outside. I do want to say, though, that as we do this, and I'm sorry, Jenny, it's not an oak tree. It's, it is a red sequoia tree, which will grow and be really a prominent feature here at Seaview. But I also want to just highlight the importance of this event. Stockton and Cornell working together for students, for building things in this area and in Cornell, the ties that we have together, the importance of working together, and the ties with industries not only in New Jersey and New York, the ties with industries throughout the U.S. and in fact throughout the world. The way Dolce has enabled our internship program to be international and the way in which this tie really increases the impact of our education and increases the quality of the education for our students. So I'm very, very grateful to Michael and Cornell and for all the people who played a significant role in this. And if you care to join us, we'll go outside and we'll shovel some dirt on the tree that is there. Thank you. Three. One more? Then one more. Okay.
No, do the whole thing.
1, 2, 3.
Gosh,
Now we hand it over to other people.